Oh, hi everyone. Hey, I hope we didn't keep you waiting too long. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to honor Frank Lampard. I'm just trying to honor Frank Lampard the best way I know, and that is to be lateness is greatness. People, welcome back. Is the audio okay, boys? Can everybody hear me? Yeah.
Audio is lovely. Not like last week.
Check because I didn't want to waste the people's 5 minutes again like last week. Let's roll the intro, man. God damn. Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back to the show once again, and big up to the chat. You people are not messing around when it comes to 11 a.m. on a UK morning, huh? God damn. Listen, I've got Younes and Miz in the building as per usual. People, we've got everybody all snacked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not going healthy today.
We bought the toast.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even trying. I didn't sleep. I'm gonna hold my hands up and just say it, boys. We got to catch up. I didn't sleep.
That's
no
crazy.
Way. What were you that nervous?
I couldn't sleep. I'm too excited for the game in general. I'm too excited to see Tuchel again. I haven't seen him in a few days now. Like I said, we're still going out on dates. We're still on the romance thing. So I'm way too excited for this game.
How are you still so fresh? How are you still so fresh?
Look, you got to understand, Matisse's hoping he can get to third base tonight. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to look fresh.
Tell us more about third base.
Oh, my God. Big up to the chat. I can see Monstar in here. My guy. Do you see what I'm saying? I can see Emmanuel in here. I can see
Red Pill's there.
I can see Bear Man cussing as well. Zippy. I can see all the man cussing this morning. You know what time it is. You know, don't play around like you don't know me. People, we have to get straight into that press conference without further ado. Let's get straight into what the hell was that? Seriously. I mean, we've been speaking previously about this journalism, the British journalism starting to slag off foreign managers. And what do? They start cozying up to him. What are we having for dinner, Tuchel? What are we having for breakfast? What do you want to drink? What kind of stupid questions are these? I don't care what he has on his pizza. I don't care what he has to drink. I want to know who's available, who's fit for the game. I thought I was never going to find out. Younes, talk to me. Are those press conference tactics? Well, what's going on there? What did you make of it?
Mate, that press conference was gold. But look, it shows us he knows exactly how to deal with the media. And the media are the media, man. This happens every time there's a new manager and there's someone new in town, you know. Am I frozen again? I can't believe this keeps happening.
You are frozen again.
You know what, yeah? Because it's usually me with the technical difficulties, so I'm all right.
I'm telling you, it's the press. They're trying to get onto me, bro. Look, with Tuchel, yeah, the fact that we now know he is not vegan, yeah, that was a big misconception.
Point number one against Tottenham, big thing.
Yeah, he's not that hipster manager everyone thought he was. He likes gin and tonic. He's not a beer man, which is surprising because he's German.
All right. We're learning stuff.
He loves spaghetti bolognese, and I'm with him on this. Flipping fantastic.
Thank God. Yes.
The press in this country.
Like it should be in the show.
Yeah, exactly. the press in this country, man. So, look, I think they do everything to try and cozy up to the manager and have that relationship before they backstab them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's how it works.
It's quite brutal in a sense, isn't it?
It is. But look, Tuchel has proven that he knows exactly how to deal with the press and deal with the media so early on. You know, we know that similarly to how not very, very much managers, but we saw it with Jose. Conte, I think, kind of knows, but his English was a barrier.
Yeah.
You don't really see it in much more other managers, though. I think Tuchel knows exactly how to go about his words. So it's nice. It's nice that we have a manager that knows how to do that again, which is great.
Yeah. Had to be done because I was looking for something on Twitter. I was like, did these pizzas and spaghettis mean something? Is that a game plan? Is that passing,
it's a tactic. It's a tactic, bro.
I tried to make sense of it.
I was gonna say something deep there, like, you know, pizza and Pizza Express, and you know where that will go, but I'm gonna avoid. I'm gonna avoid.
I mean, Miz, what did you make of that press conference? Because we did get some team news in the end. Kai Havertz and Zuma are not available. First of all, what's your thoughts on those two? I mean, they're not exactly starters. They didn't start last game, so I guess it's not pivotal news. And in the same sense, this is a must-win game regardless of those two being available. But what did you make of them two not being available for the match?
First of all, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most electrifying show in all of Chelsea community. Make sure that you smash that like button. That's the first thing that you need to learn about this particular show. Everyone is anticipating this show every week, Thursday morning. Secondly, not to disappoint you guys, the press conference is quite late for me. So it was like about 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., something like that. So I didn't actually get to watch it. Woke up in the morning, and to be honest, I couldn't be bothered watching it. And it sounds like from what you guys are saying, that it was probably not worth watching. I don't know why. I just thought like it can't be stuff like, everyone's got streams going on. Matisse, you had like 3 shows going on, so I was more bothered about watching that. The whole madness that you had with expressions. Honestly, I was literally in the toilet, chucking the big ones, and I was watching that, and I was laughing my head off. Bro,
I wasn't expecting to have a nickname on my head immediately. I was coming in with serious, and I think I shocked him because Expressions was like, "Yo, I'm coming to be peace. I come in peace, innit? Because Tottenham have just lost to Brighton. I come in
of course.
Peace. I don't want no beef." And I said, "No, I'm on smoke. Because
he was saying about Timo Werner.
Chelsea community is so calm on YouTube. They're so polite and delicate. I said, no, we're going to break the status quo. Big up Lewis. I love Lewis. But every time Lewis does previews with troops and them, he's always so nice. I said, no, I'm coming on smoke. I'm killing everybody. I don't care.
He spoke for like 14 minutes, and half of the stuff I didn't even know what he was saying, and the other half I could not stop laughing, especially the stuff about Timo Werner, how he was saying the man could never be a daddy because he's shooting blanks. And I'm like,
oh man, that was peak. That was peak.
And then he was telling you, oh, look at Matisse sticking his chest out like he's Sophie. Like, I'm like, dude, you got to stop.
Why?
You need to stop.
Wild.
But yeah, getting back to the press conference, what was your question again, Matisse?
It was all about Zuma and Kai obviously unavailable because I think Kante's back. I didn't hear anything on him, so I think
Kante's fresh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about that because whether we disturb and disrupt the midfield status quo with the normal guys that have been in their last couple of games, but with no Zuma and no Kai, do you think that could affect us in any way?
Remember, Kai and Zuma might be fit. I mean, they went in for checks. They picked up, I think, a couple of knocks, so they might be fine. But there's a chance they might be out, so we don't know. We don't know.
Kai Havertz being either out or in at the moment, I don't think that's a massive loss for us. I had a preview with Aiden, and Aiden had an awesome lineup, and he had in his lineup Kai Havertz, and I actually didn't have Kai Havertz. I was more thinking about Mason Mount, but after listening to his lineup, I was like, I kind of like your lineup, so I'll adopt that. He had Kai Havertz, and he had Giroud up front, and just behind them, Hakim Ziyech. So that trio, I was like, wow, that's not bad. But look, at the end of the day, guys, if Kai Havertz doesn't play, Mason Mount is 100% going to start. So for me, that's not a loss one bit. In fact, it's a win-win situation, either or. In fact, I'd probably prefer Mason Mount at the moment because of his tenacity and the way he played against Burnley. Kurt Zouma, guys, him being out, I mean, look, it's Rudiger. It's Rudiger's season. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's Rudiger and Thiago Silva. So once again, how much of a loss is that? I would prefer him because of his aerial abilities. And N'Golo Kante, Matisse, as you were saying, do you break up that midfield situation? I think Tuchel may. I think he will look at this game and think, yeah, Jorginho and Kovacic have been playing really well together. They've been doing good against Wolves and Burnley. We've controlled the match. But maybe perhaps against Tottenham, you need someone like Kante back, probably in the midfield. I don't know. Look, this is the thing about Thomas Tuchel, that you don't know. You really don't know. The man analyzes the opposition so well, better than any of us could ever imagine. I would support whatever he does, to be honest, at the end of the day. If he keeps the same ones, it's fine by me.
But we're going to look at Tottenham later on in the show, but I thought we'd flip it on its head, because usually we do this at the end, which is a starting 11 that we want to see. I think if we do this at the start and we go through it, we go through that team that we're putting out, then we'll start to go through tactics naturally and come up with reasons as to why one of us is going for one player, one of us is going for another. The chat can put in their lineups. And then what we'll do is we'll save questions. We'll save questions for the end, and we'll get to Tottenham's team in the end, and then we'll go off on a whole nother thing. But I think let's flip it on its head just to keep the people on their toes. It's early in the morning for some of them. I don't want them to start thinking that they know what's going on, because they don't. So let's start with the starting 11. I guess we're all gonna agree on Mendy, right? Mendy starts.
Yeah,
of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Unless anybody wants to be controversial, I don't mind. It's not
I mean, starting Kepa at this moment, I know Thomas Tuchel's done some madness already with Calamuts-Ndoye being in the right wing back, but Mendy would really take the piss, honestly. He needs to calm down.
No Caballero, nothing like that. Okay, so Mendy starts in goal.
Mendy in goal.
And then I'm guessing, are we all going to go for back three? I personally would stick with the back three, yeah.
Yep.
You'd have to.
And then I think, again, this is probably quite straightforward, but I want to see if the chat do throw in one of those names that people are crying out for a start. I'm going to stick with the same back three because it's kept 2 clean sheets and not conceded any shots on target. That's my logic. That's my logic to it. And that's Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. I would love nothing more, people, to throw Reece James in there. All due respect to Azpilicueta, obviously Reece James just excites me more as a footballer in terms of what he's going to do going forward. But Azpilicueta did score a banger as well at the weekend, so how can I even go there?
Even so with Reece James, I think he's going to be utilised more as a wing back in a back three formation than he would be as a right centre back. Even though we, last week, you see when he came on for Hudson-Odoi, and he actually done well. But I think that's more the role he's going to be, filled in for, rather than as a right centre back, which we all thought would be the case. But
I reckon Younes, Thomas Tuchel probably seen the profile of Reece James for the time being. Not to say he can't develop, that he may lack a little bit of the deficiency in defense. Who else is eating?
If you're eating with us,
shout out to you. You're goated. You're goated.
Yo, if you're eating with us, you are a goat. You don't understand how goated that is. That's exactly what I want from this show. Don't get me crazy. You're a goat. Carry on, Miz.
First of all, David, you definitely defined this show. You've done it, mate. Going back to the whole Azpilicueta situation, Younes, I feel like Tuchel probably doesn't want to give that much pressure to Reece James as yet. Reece has developed massively this season. There has been instances where defensively he's shown the capabilities. But, throughout the December period, the January period, there was an instance where he went back to his old ways, and defensively he was getting done again. Positional-wise, he was getting done, especially against Leicester, how Maddison sort of just crept up behind him and then scored that goal. He had no idea where Maddison was. So, I don't mind Reece James as a wing back at the moment, for sure.
I actually disagree, because I in my head, and this is in my head, but I always pictured him in this formation to be the right side of centre-back, because I look at the way Aspie moved forward in that game against Burnley. I look at the way even Aspie moved forward under Conte and set up those crosses from the right channel inside. Yeah. And I think of Reece James, and I just think he gets the opportunity to cross, but he also gets to help our overload in possession in midfield and create a 3-man midfield when we attack. And when we go forward, and it kind of becomes a 2-3 and then a 5 if we're really attacking. But Reece James slowly progresses up the pitch in that right channel, and we know he's very good at crossing with the inside of his foot. And really with no run up, just straight, no backlift, just straight up, just standing still can make that cross. Crossing in a variety of ways from a variety of different angles. And I just think about it, him in midfield, stepping into midfield like he did for Wigan on that right hand side, gives us a little bit of physicality that we speak about so often that this midfield lacks. And when you play that right side of centre-back, obviously Rudiger's on the left side. You're not going to move forward as Rudiger because you're on your left foot. Reece James will always move forward, and he'll get the opportunity to add that physicality into the midfield potentially and progress through the field. From the right wing-back, I always just prefer the guy to be more dynamic. Pulisic played there for instance, under Tuchel for Dortmund. I would
Yeah.
probably even put Pulisic as my second choice right wing back because I just want us to be that attacking. I want it to be a winger over there. You remember when Moses was over there? He wasn't really a fullback. He was a wing back. Like he was a winger, sorry. Quadrado at Juventus, a winger. Like I want it to be a winger because it just emphasis on attack. If it's a defensive game away at the Etihad or away at Old Trafford, fair enough. Put Reece James over there and make it more maybe defensively assured. But I feel like with Reece James over there, you do lose that fact that it's not a winger. It's not someone that can be a 1v1 demon and go head-to-head with a fullback. So that's where I slightly disagree. But you're speaking about what Tuchel will probably do, and he might do it. I have no idea what he's going to do. But it would make sense for him to do that because he's got how many centre-backs and how many, right? Do you know what I mean? He's only got Hudson-Odoi and then Reece James. He's not going to put Aspilicueta over there. So, I mean, so we go.
Your case on Reece James is valid too, man. I mean, at the end of the day, he could definitely play right centre-back as well. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I think the only reason why I suggest Pully over there is just because he's used him at Dortmund. Does he have the same electric pace as Hudson-Odoi? Not really. But yeah, that back three we settle on. And then I guess the wing-backs, we go Hudson-Odoi.
Matisse, the only thing I'd say about that back three, though, I don't know if you boys have seen that there's an article that was out about Thiago Silva in the Athletic. And they were talking about how, I guess these are the things that we don't probably understand in the background. The article was talking about how Thiago Silva, there's a reason why he's on a limited, like he cannot play that many games in a row because of his age, because of his body, I suppose, aging as well. It takes a lot more time to recover. He's only apparently got a certain quota of games per season. So expression,
X-Files in the building.
Yeah, they're going to be calling you depressions, huh?
Timo Werner cannot be a daddy because he's shooting blanks. Less of that.
Big up. Love.
Shout out expressions.
Love. It showed me so much love. Seriously, coming on the channel, I appreciate it. And like I said, he's making noise, man, because it's a big game today. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I was giving it the big one. Yesterday. I'm getting a bit nervous now, because if this team don't win, I'm finished. Expressions is ready for me if we don't win this game or if we lose. If it's a draw, I think I can negotiate my way out of this. But if we lose, finish.
Mate, if we lose, it's curtains for all of us, bro. We end the show. It's done.
But I'm confident. Do you know what I mean?
We hibernate.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm mad confident. I don't know what it is, but if we don't win now,
me too.
I'm finished. So yeah,
it's peak. It's peak.
Going back to that whole the Thiago Silva thing. Apparently, there's some stats and all of this stuff in the background that he's got a limited amount of games. He cannot play that many, and if you play him that many, you will possibly trigger an injury based on statistics and whatnot. So that's the other thing to think about, I suppose. I do expect him to start, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Silva and injuries, we just have to when I don't know if you remember this show, it would not have aired in Australia, I don't think, Miss, but Red or Black, Younes, hosted by the two presenters. They're very well known, presented X Factor.
And Deck, exactly. Sorry, I don't know how I've forgotten them brothers. But Red or Black, yeah. Did you ever watch Red or Black? It only aired for a couple seasons. I haven't. No.
It's like poker. It's like playing. It's like a casino game at the end of the day. It's literally just 50-50 chance. It's like gambling with your life or Deal or No Deal. One of those games.
Okay.
It's like gambling with your life. That is basically what Silva is at this point. The more we play him, it's just red or black. And then if it lands on the wrong color, finished. He's
game over.
Injured for the rest of the season. Do you know what I mean? Christensen has to take his place in the middle of the back three.
Oh, can you imagine? Like with Silva, I think at the moment, especially in the back three, I think he's more protected. I think if it was a back four, there'd be a situation where we'd be looking and going, okay, maybe he's on the brink. But because we're in a back three and he's got two other centre backs next to him, that might just be giving him a little less responsibility. But when he is called upon, he's a tank. He's a beast. Yeah. So I think that helps us and it helps him.
Bro, his positioning and awareness is madness, bro.
It's crazy.
Bro, I wish we had signed him in his prime because him next to John Terry would have been bullets.
Mate, it'd be curtains. No one would score. No one would score.
Bro, you see them armoured vests that they wear in the police force? Just stick Thiago Silva and John Terry in front of you. Nobody dies, bro. Nobody dies. It would have been mad. You see that defensive record we set? That's getting
It would have been
trashed
less.
as well.
It would have been less. It would have been less.
5 goals conceded for the whole season.
Yo.
Petr Cech
for the single digits.
Petr Cech would have been having raves in his goalposts, like
Bro,
just inviting
this
people to
record
have a
of no
party
shots
in the
on
goal.
target, that would have been going on till
It
Christmas.
would have
That-
been mad, yeah.
Honestly, I can't speak highly enough of Thiago Silva. For me, and I know the debate's getting fierce in the Chelsea community, we're starting to see it already. Same thing as last year, by the way. They love it. Player of the Year debate. I couldn't give a rat's ass who wins it. I don't care. When they pick up their Player of the Year award, I don't get nothing out of it. Where's the silverware for us? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't care, bro. These guys get so emotional about it on the TL. Oh, is it going to be Silva or Mount? It's going to be Kovacic. Oh, God, Jesus.
Hey, what about it could be both
That's
of them.
what the Queen would sound like, by the way. Just
Bro, I don't care.
if the
bro.
Queen was a Chelsea fan, yeah.
It don't make no difference. If we didn't win a trophy, who cares? It's like celebrating about the golden boot. You know how Tottenham fans, sorry expressions, you know how Tottenham fans going about Harry Kane got the golden boot. Oh my god, best striker in the world. Bro, it didn't do nothing for your cabinet, bro. Nothing. When you go on Football Manager and load up career history, it doesn't show no trophies, bro.
Exactly.
Mate, Matisse woke up and chose violence. That's what I'm gonna say. Bro. He woke up and chose violence.
I told you, yeah. I told you. When it comes to this fixture, I'm a violent don. If the grounds were open, yeah.
Oh, I'd be peak. You'd be having punch ups. We'd have to come and
Bro,
save
I
you.
would have gone to the ground. I would have intercepted. You know that expression Sophie collab? I would have intercepted it, bro. I would have intercepted it like Kante. Bro. I would have been onto everybody, onto Sophie, onto. I would have been onto everyone. I don't care who you support. I'm not hyped.
Oh, mate.
Some of the guys are saying carried Terry. No, but seriously, Silva and Terry would have just been gold dust. But anyway, we digress. Wing backs in that team, Alonso and Hudson-Odoi. Are we all?
We're in accordance.
Lock that in. Lock it in.
I never thought I'd be saying his name again on a preview. I said it yesterday, because on my preview, I always put the graphics of the players that are going to show up, and I haven't done it with Alonso yet. And I had to acknowledge, I had to be like, yo, for the first time, I'm saying Alonso. This is
you have to save that graphic to your phone or whatever laptop. Find the.
You know what it is, It's
absolutely.
It's such a love-hate relationship, and I can't lie.
Fully. It's toxic.
I can't lie. There's personal beef there. I won't lie to you people. I'm not here to be politically correct. I have personal beef with Alonso at this point. Him and Rudiger, after what's happened and all the reports that came out, we're not going to get into it. I've already stated my case, but we have personal beef. But we'll address that in the transfer window when they're up for sale again, hopefully. However, when
all you need is Jeremy Kyle. It's all good.
Yeah. When he scores, though, the shamelessness is just... I have to admire it. The shithousery, it's just so...
It's perfect. It's very Chelsea.
I love it.
Very
I love
Chelsea.
it.
It's very Chelsea.
Very Chelsea.
Very
Such
Chelsea.
a Chelsea thing to do.
Kissing the badge. Like, what?
I reckon he does it to you.
Cheeky bastard.
I reckon he knows. He does it to you.
Do you think he's watching?
Bro,
He's like this. He's like this, watching just.
You know what it does, yeah? Because when you kiss the badge, you kind of, when you kiss the badge, yeah, you kind of shit on Lampard a bit and say, listen, you didn't use me. Do you know what I mean? You didn't use me, and you had me in the headlines about the
You're lost.
Thing.
You're
And
lost.
now you lost. I'm still here. And where are you? You're unemployed at Bournemouth. And them, man, go chat to them, man. Do you know what I mean?
Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater.
Go talk to teams like Brighton and Fulham and them, man.
Bro, that post-match interview from Alonso, he might as well just said, here's a message just for you, Frank Lampard. Like,
Yeah, literally.
He might have just said that, because I looked at it and I couldn't stop laughing the way he was saying, and kudos to the journalist, because he set him up nicely. The journalist knew what he was doing. He placed the saying, oh, you look a lot more organized. And then he just comes alive. He's like, well, the manager tells us exactly where we need to be in the pitch, gave us the right instructions. And I'm thinking, dude, just say it. Frank never did that to you. Just say it.
He wanted to say it. He wanted to say it. But also about him as well, the thing is, this is why, and shout out Alex. Alex got so pissed. You see that clip that went up on his channel? He was pissed, Alex, because...
Oh, yeah, he was fuming.
When you do that, it's a little bit disrespectful to Frank in a way. Do you know what I mean? I know people are just going to see it as a kiss of the innocent badge thing, but let's be real. He was sending shots. Do
That
know
was
what I mean?
it was the lamps, of course it was.
Always
Yeah.
politics with Alonso. You see the way he acts on socials as well. When he does something good or his stats come out for goals contributed at the end of the season, he's always got a quote tweet it. He's always got to say something.
Yeah.
He's always political with Alonso. The shithousery never dies. I'm telling you. So I love the goal. The goal was a great goal, but I can't lie. When he's very hot and cold guy. He pisses me off differently. I can't lie.
I tell you what though. I tell you what. If and I beg, but if he scores tonight,
yeah,
mate, I think that's all. All the people that were saying things about Alonso will have to like put that on the shelf for at least 24 hours and go, "You legend, you legend."
You just
I guarantee you,
if
guys,
he scores against Spurs,
every
scoring.
Tottenham fan I spoke to yesterday is scared of Alonso because his name is always in the headlines when they free kick at Wembley and then
exactly
the goal at Stamford Bridge last year as well. So for Alonso, it's just
He scores bangers.
It's his fixture.
Bangers against them, like long
if
range
he scores,
shot.
it's one of them things where you just turn the hot stove onto dial 1 and just keep letting it. It will keep sizzling, but it's on a low temperature, and we'll address it later. Tactically, I think I can't speak highly enough of the change because take personal beef aside. How many times did we have crosses that came into the box, guys? Reece James, Hudson-Odoi, flashed across the box. Nobody at the back post to finish.
Yeah.
Nobody on the end of the crosses. And so much of the time, they're not even difficult crosses to score from. They're low crosses along the ground. What Sterling has literally profited off for the last God knows how many years under Pep. Those tap-ins at the back post at the end of the move when the build-ups happen on the other side of the pitch, he comes in and taps it in. And we seem to be allergic to feasting on our own meals. You know, you got Reece James and Hudson-Odoi out here crossing to their heart's content. Even Mason Mount as well in that right channel at times. Ziyech, you name it, and there's nobody there. It's like they purposefully run late and just miss it, just so they can be like, well, you can see I tried, guys. You saw how close I was. Do you know what I mean? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, one thing I want to say about Alonso, and we can laugh about him all day long, and we've all laughed about Alonso. One thing you cannot deny about Alonso is he knows his way around the box, and he knows his way. Oh, shout out to Lee Gunner.
I don't even know if it's the real Lee Gunner yet. I have to ask him in DMs because yesterday Lee Gunner popped up. And then he was like, "Let me make me mod," and I was like, "Hold on a second, are you trying to fraudulently use my guy's name to make you mods?" I was like, "Okay, so I'm gonna ask him." But anyway, I think it's fake. I haven't clicked on the channel. Carry on, Miz.
but yeah, the one thing about Alonso, and I'm pretty sure you boys will agree with this, is that he knows his way around into the box, and he knows exactly how to find that space in between the defenders. How he manages to do that time in, time out, to find that space in between the defenders, and he's got a trigger, man. He has got that left foot trigger. I would even say sometimes it's even better than Ziyech's left foot. Like, no disrespect to Ziyech, but
there's a call for him to go up front.
Look, I mean, Thomas Tuchel used him perfectly in the sense that took away his defensive duties by covering him with Kovacic and Rudiger just behind him.
Yeah.
Did not play from the left, predominantly played from the right because he knows Alonso is slow, so we cannot play from the left. We're going to play from the right where Callum Hudson-Odoi is quicker. I think his only instruction to Alonso was, mate, you're good at one thing, and that is to score goals, to stay on the edge of the box, find the space in between. If you get that opportunity, that movement for Pulisic, how he assisted that, boys, you would have seen. Alonso was actually hugging the lines, and then he saw an opportunity to move into the space.
To go inwards, yeah.
And he stood there and he put his hand up. I'm free now. And Pulisic didn't see the ball. Chest volleys it. That was beautiful, man.
Very good.
You know, a lot of people say Alonso winger. I say absolutely no chance. If you're playing a formation that has a full back behind him and then he plays winger, a winger's job is so much more than scoring goals. They have to have pace. Yeah. They have to have 1v1 ability to get round a man. They need to be good at crossing. They need to be good at passing. So this Alonso winger type stuff is overdone. However, late on in a game, and I'm not even taking the piss anymore because it's becoming a thing where you have to talk about it. Late on in a game, if we need a goal, there is nobody else who is going to put their body on the line more for a goal. Just because he's shameless. I'm not even going to say it's because he's dying to get the... I think he just loves scoring goals. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Hazard said it really well in his quotes. this guy loves scoring goals more than I do. I don't know what it is about Alonso. There's something very deep in his heart that just tells him he has to score goals. It's like he was really born to be a striker. And someone in the youth coach, the youth coaching in Real Madrid just said, no, you're going to be a left back. And ever since then, he's had a chip on his shoulder and he can't quite get it off his back where he's actually a left back. He has such a desire and drive to score goals. I've never seen anything like it. It's more than a striker. You know, we look at our strikers, they want to get goals, but they're not doing what Alonso's doing. Alonso looks like he will break his back for a goal. Honest to God, it's scary. So late on in the game, I would like to see it.
Absolutely. No, you know what? I think you make a good point about Alonso and the fact that the winger talk is overdone. But I think he needs a winger to get into those spaces to try and score goals, because if he didn't have that, he wouldn't go as far forward as he can, because he'll leave himself exposed. But the fact that he has that winger allows him to not really be the one responsible to create that pass, to try and drag attention, to be the one to assist or set up. Like, his job is, I'm going to be a defensive player, but look, if a winger's taking all the attention away, I've got a space to run into and score, I'm going to run there. And it's a very simple instruction. And if he can hit the ball and he puts it in the net, which he can do really well, that suits him perfectly. So, yeah, man. Look, if he's not a wing back, absolutely try him out as a striker. That's it. That's it.
And the thing is, you make a great point. He's not great at, getting heavily involved in the general play.
No.
So
he's an opportunist. He's an opportunist.
Exactly, an opportunist. The wing back role allows him to ghost and allows him to sneak up on the opposition. Kind of like the FBI. Do you know what I mean? You never know when they're coming, but they are coming. If you're the warrant out for your arrest, they will come to your door. You just don't know when. And Alonso's that guy. FBI. Alonso's that guy. He's got the badge. He's got absolutely. You got no idea when he's gonna come, but he will come at some point. And to add to this point about Alonso, and we're going to get into Hudson-Odoi, because this is where the tactics come on Tottenham analysis as well. Their right wing backs are suspect.
Yeah.
Matt Dorothy, I call him Dot from EastEnders, because he's done. That was my main point yesterday.
But how did he manage a move to Spurs?
Yo, he is
Dot from EastEnders.
Can't play right wing back anymore. He has been atrocious for them. Every Tottenham fan I talk to, they say we miss Kyle Walker-Peters. We should never have bought Doherty or Dot.
Dorothy.
Shout out Doc Cotton.
Dorothy. You know what I mean? The nursing home, 100%. Bang average.
Hey, Doc Cotton is. She's goated. That's not message
rubbed off on me. Well, I'm just starting to create nicknames for his players as well now. It's not even my players; it's his players. Do you know what I mean?
But nothing will beat your nickname of spoon knife and fork.
Oh, mate, that was funny. Have you told expressions? Have you told expressions about Doc Cotton?
I don't know if I did. Do you know what? I was.
You should, because he'll know. He'll feel that.
Such an adrenaline, I couldn't even keep up. He was coming for me. Do you know what I mean? I started strong, and then he started coming for me. My head was all scrambled. I couldn't think of my next pass. I wanted to say something about the bag with Sophie and the pencil case. I wanted to say, "Oh, you wearing a pencil case? You're going back to school." It just didn't register in my brain. I couldn't keep up. It was such a great episode.
Had an overload.
I love it.
Nah, he's too much. It's
very rare, that because I'm very hyperactive sometimes. It's very rare that I have someone that can actually come for me as well. Rants is very much the same. I tried to go at Rants when he was on my channel. I think him and Saeed, and they just dashed me to the curb. I was like, yo, this is great. Do you know what I mean? So it's only going to be a problem if we lose. But seriously, Dot from EastEnders, a right wing back. If he plays, they played Sissoko there for Brighton. And Sergio Aurier is apparently back in contention. He doesn't worry me either. Going forward, he's very dangerous, but he's very suspect to giving penalties or very suspect to getting the red card or just making a dodgy tackle. So Serge Aurier, it doesn't matter really who's over there. I think Alonso can capitalize on a lack of concentration. Reguilon's also out as well.
Is he out?
Reguilon's out.
Fantastic.
That's brilliant.
I smell cooking coming on.
He was a lot of trouble the last time we played them, Frank Lampard in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, he was the one that was causing all the havoc.
Yeah. There was a moment where Aspilicueta sat him on his backside, but apart from that, it was dangerous. So Hudson-Odoi versus Ben Davies. Younes, talk to me about Hudson-Odoi. That is...
Look, with the circums, it's tasty, man. It's tasty. I think it's gonna, for Thomas Tuchel, it's gonna taste just as good as that spaghetti bolognese he's been raving about. It's going to be really cool.
For this show.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Like, you know what? Yeah. I think it's the perfect game for Hudson-Odoi. I think tonight could elevate him to another level because his last 2 games, he's been man of the match. He's been the main man under Thomas Tuchel. He's been so direct. He's been so confident and relaxed in the way that he's been playing. And he's done his job perfectly, whether it's attacking or defending. You know, we see how far back he gets to defend and win the ball back near the corner flag, for goodness sakes. You know, that's something that was, you know, once it was a problem with Hudson-Odoi. You know, he doesn't defend. He can't get back in time, this, that, and the other. He's doing all of it now. So now in a big game where it really matters now, you're playing Tottenham, Chelsea away. You know, this is the one game on the calendar every Chelsea fan looks forward to. Mainly not because of, you know, they're one of the, well, I don't want to say they're just one of the biggest teams in the league. They are, but there's a history there. It means more than a Chelsea, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea United. Tottenham, Chelsea is it, So for Hudson-Odoi, for the fact he's played brilliant in the last 2 games, if he can carry that forward into tonight and get another man of the match performance, I think that will be him breaking out of his shell fully. You know, I'm excited. I'm really excited because against a Ben Davies, I think he can fully have him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
About all you can eat Chelsea,
all of it.
It's constantly on our minds, and you're gonna keep getting these. You're gonna keep getting these
Mate, food analogies. You're
gonna get these food analogies. It's spot on. But I think he can really take advantage of Ben Davies because from what I've heard of Ben Davies from Tottenham fans, they're not impressed either. Very much a backup left back. Very much a lot of their squad players now seem to be given that extra responsibility to make the difference. And we speak about this whole defense to wrap it up. No Harry Kane. Miz, just talk to us and wax lyricals about how excited you are to see no Harry Kane because he's got a record against us, especially at White Hart Lane. Well, now it's Wembley, but White Hart Lane, he used to curl them in. You know, that 5-3. You know, he had no problem dismantling us. So that is a big loss for them.
100%, man. Harry Kane, I mean, Tottenham without Harry Kane is just completely toothless. They would not know exactly what to do anymore. And Harry Kane this season under Jose Mourinho became even to a different level where he started becoming a playmaker, not just a goal scorer. He drops deep. He looks wide or he looks long for Son and whoever else. And he became a playmaker for them as well. So he was turning out to be a complete striker, to be honest. So him not there. And this is the thing. I tweeted earlier this morning that one of the faults of Jose Mourinho is that he relies on individuals too heavily. He relies on a Harry Kane. He relies on a Son. When these two are not there, in this instance, Harry Kane not being there, well, there is no other plan. You cannot change the plan around. And I've been saying it in my tweet that I would like Thomas Tuchel to build a team that is based around a system so that any given player, when not available, someone else can come in and fill up that system. Yeah. So, look, man, they're going to be struggling with all the players that they already don't have, Tottenham in terms of their defense and some of the players being average. You now throw in Harry Kane, which is their biggest outlet. No, man, if he's not there, that's why I'm confident with our defense as well. Yeah. So,
he's their glue. He is their glue. They don't have any glue tonight. And you have to realize as well, without a Harry Kane, that limits Son. Yeah. Because, they come as a package. They come as a pair. They with Harry Kane, you need a Son. And with a Son, you need a Harry Kane. Even though I think Harry Kane is more able to do things independently. And Son does have it in his locker to create something from nothing. But together, they're just, it just clicks. When you take one away, the other one's missing. So, fully. I'm excited the fact that Kane's not playing. I think that's going to help us a lot.
Much love to CFC Dubois for the super chat. Kane will never reach Giroud's levels. The propaganda
People
continues.
pay for this, bro. People pay for this.
Honestly. You know what I'm saying? He'll never end the propaganda for Giroud. It'll never end.
Dubois don't play games. And do you know what? I would love nothing more for Giroud to interact with Dubois publicly. You see how Hajir
that would be gold.
I need Giroud.
You know what? We need to push that. I reckon we need to push that because this brother deserves it.
I don't have that kind of juice. That's Frank Khaled and Alex Goldberg levels. They got them both. It's not my view. I ain't got no juice. Literally, I ain't got no juice. Oh shit!
All right, there you are. There's a juice.
Yeah, just a little bit left.
For real, there was nothing.
Now you ain't got no juice.
and then the little drops just come out. I'm like, oh god damn! It looks like I got juice. All right, we'll try. We got juice. There was nothing was meant to come out of that carton, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to you. So yeah, you know what I mean? When it comes to Kane, I feel like he is, I've been saying it all week, he is their Kevin De Bruyne plus a striker. And I've said it with Tobes as well, is that they lack a number 10. And because they've been having Kane drop into that role, he's been doing 2 jobs. And when you take him out of there, it's very reminiscent to Kante in his prime doing 2 jobs. And another comparison I want to make with Jose Mourinho, because you spoke about Miz there with him using individuals to get by in terms of Kane and Son exceeding their XG to ridiculous levels this season while he just sets up a defensive block. Do you remember at Chelsea, right? We had a great start to the season. This is our title winning season under Jose. And we got the goal at home, away to Burnley, and Fabregas with the pass. And the first half of the season was liquid football. Fabregas, Diego Costa, it was great. And then Diego Costa started to go off form for the second half of the season. And he just ripped up the playbook and went negative. For the whole second half of the season, it was just Eden Hazard. I remember that Man United game at home. 1-0 win. Oscar with the back heel, Eden Hazard with the finish, left foot. Through the hair's legs. I think we had like 30-something possession that game. 30-something%. We were dog shit, like awful to watch for the second half of the season. No one cared because we was winning. But that's what this Tottenham team reminds me of. Literally, it was just Eden Hazard and that's it. Everybody else, get back. Here's
the problem though. You know, we were winning.
Yeah. It helps.
Spurs are not. Spurs are not. That's it. They're just not. We were, at least for the second half of that season, we were on the way to the title. You know what I mean? Like, we knew we just keep this up, we will be Premier League champions. It's done. Like with Tottenham, but there's even talk now. There's even talk, and I've seen it. And I've got a Tottenham mate as well, who I'm quite close with, and he's a big Tottenham fan. Very respectful. He's not one of them. He's not one of them ones. But he was saying, look, if Tottenham lose tonight, there's honestly going to be talk about Mourinho out.
Well,
and that's peak. Like I'm like, whoa, really?
They're very much how we were under Lampard. Very 50-50, disgruntled. Some of them want change. Some of them want to keep the faith. They're obviously in a cup final. There's a lot going on there.
Katie Hopkins football.
Yeah, Katie Hopkins football.
Thinking it up.
Expressions called it fossil football. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying it because I remember our fan base 50-50 on Lampard, toxicity. Now we're living life. We're just relaxed. Everybody's calm. Everyone's singing from the same team sheet. It's beautiful. So I'm loving it. I'm loving the drama over there. But I want to move into the midfield battle because just to confirm that comment, yes, Harry Kane's not available. That's why we're so happy. That's what we're talking about there. I want to move to midfield battle. I feel like we have an opportunity to outnumber them in midfield. And what I mean by that is that we have a quartet, a quadruple.
Exactly.
2-2.
Exactly.
Double 6 and the double fake 10s. And you've got Mount, potentially Pulisic, Ziyech, and then you've got Jorginho, Kova, Kante. Those are your 6 options to pick from out of those 3 positions. But no matter who you go with, you've got a double 6 and 2 fake 10s, and you've got those 4. And what those 4 allow you to do, very much like how Barcelona used to do, that gives you the opportunity to just control that midfield. They did it beautifully. And I'm not saying we're going to play this kind of football, but Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi and Fabregas at the 10. Do you remember when you played Fabregas at the 10? And Fabregas' role, and very much for Spain as well. They created that diamond in midfield with the 4 players. And obviously ours is different because it's 2-2, but it's the same number of 4. And it allowed the overload. And Fabregas, very much for Spain and Barcelona at times, played in that 10, played as that false 9. He ran in behind as well, got the goals, but he played in that 10. And he got back and he got into his 10 position and he was able to dominate possession. You had 4 central midfielders who were brilliant on the ball in that Spain team and playing at once in the center of the pitch. You couldn't get the ball off them. And then you use your runners. And obviously we're set up differently. We're not playing a back 4. We've got wing backs. But those 4, if we can dominate Spurs' midfield, and it's not about out-muscling them because we don't have the muscle. We've spoken about it. You know, the gyms, lockdown, you know what I mean? Boris is not opening them. I don't know if the training pitch is the same situation at Cobham, but nobody's packing on any weight. Let's be real. If we're going with flimsy, who would be, first of all, Miz, your double 6, as Tuchel likes to call them, the double 6?
6s.
I love it.
Yeah. First of all, I want to just quickly touch on the the quartet that you were talking about. I had a couple of boys in my channel, and we were talking about that. I had that whole, the formation chart out, had the players and everything. And when we were doing that and analyzing that, it was clear to see the different triangles. So imagine you've got the flat three, you got the double sixes, you got the wing backs, and you got the, the tens.
Yeah.
There are little triangles in that midfield everywhere. If you separate if you make it a symmetry between, there's triangles you can make everywhere. And even with the three at the back, you can make little triangles with the double sixes and the wing backs and the 10. So I think if we closely have a look at the Wolves game, the Burnley game, we will see that there are those passes that allow you to keep possession. Even though we've got the double sixes, it seems like, well, how's the double pivot still being able to negotiate past an opposition that has more in the midfield? And it's because what you just said, Matisse, all of those other players come in and create those little triangles, and we don't need to outmuscle them. We just need to pass around them.
Yeah.
And the other factor is, boys, that I've noticed in the last two games, and it's getting better and better, is when we lose the ball, they're more hungrier to get it back straight away.
Yeah, the counter press is outstanding.
Yeah,
unbelievable. And the way Tuchel's doing that is he understands that Jorginho staying too deep is probably not the best all the time without the ball. So when he's without the ball, he wants to push Jorginho further up. So Jorginho starts the press first, and he tries to win back the ball, because having Jorginho right at the base, and if the opposition breaks through, well, they're going to go past Jorginho easily. So you don't want to do that. So that's the other thing that I've really enjoyed. So going back to who I would use in midfield, man, this is interesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mason Mount, for me, now that the news about Kai Havertz, so he'll be one of those guys up front. So that's fine. I don't need to use him in the double sixes.
Yeah.
One of the Kante hasn't played for a long time. Do you throw him into the mix straight away in this big match, London derby, like a must-win sort of match for us as well? I would tend to keep the same combination of Kovacic and Jorginho and let them play it out. If it doesn't go well, we've already seen Tuchel make changes in halftime. If it's not working out, he's going to make changes. So to answer your question, I would keep Jorginho and Kovacic, because I feel like they are the best in keeping possession. They're the best at moving the ball around quicker. And I feel like Tottenham don't want the ball. they want to sit back. So, it works out for us.
Yeah, I completely agree, because before we get to Younes, I think those two, I've said it before and I got shot for it, and they tried to hang me up on the cross, but I'll say it again. Those two have a partnership. There's some sort of chemistry there, and it's not the strongest. Like, those two are not the best players. Kante is a better player than both of them, in my opinion. When he's at his peak, that for me, that's clear as day. But it's all about the chemistry. When you set up Ultimate Team and you're looking for them green lines, the chemistry, they got the green line. And then when you add Kante in it, the line gets orange. And it can work sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't work. But for me, that green line is good. And also, I'm putting it down to bare basics right now. I hope I attract the 16-year-olds from Football Twitter. That analogy right there, if I don't get my demographic, you know what I mean? I've seen my analytics. I ain't seen too many of Trey Uniteds and them, man. If I don't see that after that, yo, I give up. I give up with you, man. You're not interested in the channel. Go and pack your bags, take it somewhere else. I tried to even out my demographic, people. Do you know what I mean? I tried to do it. Anyway. But also, that back three protect them. Do you know what I mean? That back three very much protect them. So I'm not as worried as if they were in front of a back four. And like you said, Mason Mount's going to play. So you surround them with energy, and then the lack of mobility kind of covers up for it. And also Kante, before the injury, he wasn't in the greatest of form.
Yeah.
He didn't have great games against Arsenal, Man City, a few others as well. And he is just coming back. And again, how many times do we rush Kante back or overplay him? And then his performances do drop off. And then, well, of course they're going to drop off. He's been overused. We need to find solutions without Kante, because every other team on the planet don't have Kante. That's always been my logic. He's a bonus, but you don't squeeze him out like a sponge. Younes, what do you make of the midfield? I mean, who would be your double six?
You know what? It's mad because, frankly, ironically, look, I don't mind. I really don't mind. Whatever happens, whatever Tuchel goes with, I don't mind, and I'll explain why. With Jorginho and Kovacic, we've seen, especially the last 2 games, that there seems to be something clicking between those two.
Yeah.
Which before wasn't the case. Before, Jorginho and Kovacic was playing, they'd have howlers. You know, they play together and everyone would be like, oh my God, we should not be playing these two together. And that was said everywhere, including us. Under Tuchel, the system and the way that we're playing seems to suit those two in the pivot together. And as you said, the chemistry now seems to be clicking. It seems like there's some sort of connection. So if that is the case and Tuchel goes with that, consistency, cool, no problem, I get it. I do think Tuchel has a plan for Kante, and I'm excited to see what, because when you look at Kante, last time he played, we still had Lampard.
Yeah.
Last time he played, we were still trying to utilize the single DM.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't Kante as part of a pivot, which is now what we acknowledge as the best position for him.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to bring in Kante alongside somebody, who's that going to be? Jorginho, Kovacic? I'm not sure, but I'm sure Tuchel will know.
Yeah.
I think we'll get the best out of Kante. Tuchel's also made it clear that at PSG he really wanted him. And we remember the time when PSG were after him and we were all telling him to get lost. I'm confident that Tuchel has a plan in his head as to how he's going to utilize Kante. We don't know what that is yet. So if Kante does start, I fully trust it. I
feel like Kante's best partner would be Billy Gilmour.
Yeah.
I really do. And I know no one's spoken about it, but Billy Gilmour has stayed. He hasn't gone out on loan, because I remember last show we didn't want to address it because we didn't know where he was going to be, so it was kind of pointless. He's now stayed, and I think you either need a Jorginho or Billy Gilmour in your pivot, and then you take Kante or a Kova, because Kante and Kova are very much players that like to roam differently off the ball. You know, Kante will roam because he's chasing lost causes. And again, if he gets on the ball, he'll either give it simple or he'll even go on a mazy run because he's got no sense of gravity, and we've seen that happen before. Kova very much the same. His ball progression is all about dribbling through the lines. He's not a holder. He's not one that wants to sit in position. Gilmour and Jorginho, on the other hand, are ones that like to dictate tempo. They like to get on the ball. I can see them sitting as well. You know, they will sit. They will be deep if need be. So don't. I would mix and match between those two, but I would never. Personally, I'd never want to see Kova with Kante or Jorginho with Billy. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. I don't feel like there's a need for that. That midfield is gonna come up against Ndombele. How many times I keep butchering his name or not, that is going to be a threat.
And Højbjerg as well is going to be a part of that midfield. Yeah. So it's a case of having to really, really look out. My concern is, and this is where I would trust Kante more. Is I'm worried, as Miz said, if we were caught out in that midfield battle and Jorginho's having to fend for himself. Do you know what I mean? With a Ndombele and a Højbjerg, you know, it depends. This is really unpredictable,
mobility, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really difficult to predict because it's Thomas Tuchel and it's a new system, and we don't really know what to expect yet. You know, and the players individually and the instruction they're going to be given is completely different to that of what Lampard was trying to tell them. So, you know, we'll see. But right now, again, if we go with Jorginho or Kovacic, cool, I'm fine with that. If we go with Kante as part of that pivot, I'm totally cool with that as well. And I think Kante is more of a beast when trying to win the ball back. You know, we can see that. You know, as long as he's 100% fit. And if he is going to be at that level with the support of someone alongside him, if you're trying to play against a Ndombele or a Højbjerg, for example, I think Kante can run them riot. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. If we are playing with numbers and Tottenham are having to sit back and they're not really utilising the counter-attack through the middle through using Ndombele or Højbjerg, then I think Jorginho will be in his element. Jorginho won't have any threat. So it totally depends. We'll see. But I'm cool with whatever.
Here's the thing, Younes. I feel like Kante, to really get the best out of Kante, you'd have to play counter-attacking football. I feel like if we say, for example, Tuchel comes up against a Bayern Munich, for instance, and Tuchel wants to play in a way where we don't want the ball too much, you keep the ball, that's when Kante comes into his element, because he comes in with his interceptions, he comes in with his blocks, he comes in with that quick-fire transition, and then you start a counter. I feel like when we want to hold the ball a lot more than the opposition, that's against Kante's element, because then you're asking Kante to play with the ball. Whereas I think Kante is far more devastating without the ball. That's why we were so great in our counter-attacking days under Antonio Conte. That's why Leicester was great when Kante was playing for them in their title-winning match, where Leicester weren't holding the ball that much. They were more, seeking and destroying and intercepting, and then boom, quick. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting how Tuchel utilizes Kante.
Yeah, because we know Tottenham are probably going to set up in a low block. In fact, that's almost guaranteed, from Mourinho, in my opinion. I'm going to fly through these super chats just before we continue the midfield debate. Do you guys see Sarri, Ball 2.0 and Tuchel? If possession dominance is going to be the way forward, are we ready to accept Tuchel's tactics? I could not disagree more, my bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. Absolutely not. I think when we say Sarri 2.0, that's just lazy analysis, because that's the last manager that played positional play or whatever. Tuchel is so much, and this is not a dig at Sarri, but Sarri
is a lot more dynamic.
Yeah, very much more dynamic, way more flexible, as you can see with the formation already, and he's going to switch formation again. Sarri was very much set in his ways in terms of making sure that this is the formation, we're not going to change from it. Tuchel is much more flexible tactically, and I just think he's going to bend more for the players and get the best out of them while having the principles, whereas Sarri, you have to bend towards Sarri. And we saw that with the likes of Barkley, Kova, Loftus-Cheek obviously spoke very highly of him as well. But he's stuck, they're two very different managers. Sarri stuck with a group of 13, 14 players. Yeah. He didn't really go outside that. Tuchel is the complete opposite. He's going to use the whole squad. So there couldn't be more differences between the two. I know they both play attacking football. Thor says, I'm optimistic, but let's not forget it's still Mourinho. Team hard to beat, break down whenever the fan base are optimistic, the team flop and disappoint. I understand that, but I'm shameless. And if I was worrying about things like that, I wouldn't be able to have a YouTube channel. So like I said, I'm out here, you know what I mean? If we have to come out, if you're gonna go hard, you have to go hard or go home. Do you know what I mean? And when you're confident, you got to be confident. So I understand.
It is a valid point.
It is a valid point.
No, I mean, the second part about being too optimistic and then we flop. I mean, we'll see what happens with Tuchel, because now it's a different situation. But you can't write off Spurs or Mourinho when it comes to a derby and one game. Form goes out the window. I think if there is a chance for Tottenham to show up, it's tonight, because it's Tottenham, Chelsea. They will come out wanting it. But I think it's up to us to kill them early. If we do, that's great.
Brighton we speak about defensively solid. Brighton had 16 shots against them. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Mourinho this season, I think they have the second best defensive record in the league. I think 21 goals conceded, but it's tight. 22, we have 24. Everybody's very much. The only team that is outstandingly clear is Man City with 13 goals conceded.
Yeah.
Everybody else is in this 22 ballpark. So it's not been the most defensive masterclass from Mourinho, but I take the point.
The only thing I'm hoping, if what Matisse you said earlier on, that certain parts of the Tottenham fan base are calling for Mourinho to be out if he loses, I'm just hoping that certain players in that group kind of feel that way as well. That like that Frank situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just down tools, just a little. A little sneaky own goal from Dot. You know what I mean?
Davison Sanchez just all of a sudden doesn't want to sprint. Do you know what I mean? Alderweireld doesn't want to jump. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Cross comes in from Hudson-Odoi, just a little bounce off your ankle.
Hey, let that go.
Lloris trips up, falls down, and misses a catch or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
That's the only thing I'm hoping. That is this creeping into the team, or is the team still believing in Mourinho that there's a final to come in the Carabao Cup? There's still the Europa League for them, but if there is even a 10% chance that certain players are feeling that this could be a chance to get rid of Mourinho, we could be in for a show. They
keep calling Sanchez the Colombian PS4. I have no idea.
What does that even mean? Colombian PS4?
I don't know, but it's hilarious. I think it just means that he's very square, rigid. I don't know. I have to ask, but it's hilarious. Against Brighton, they played a 3-4-3, so they very much similar formation to us, not exactly the same. Ndombele and Højbjerg was the two. I think Mourinho, what he'll do is he'll bring in a Winks or a Sissoko. Tobes thought it would be Sissoko. Tap in Tobes. He thought Sissoko might come in centrally, I think. I think it was Tap in Tobes that said that. Because we're speaking about this overload of 4 versus potentially 2.
Yeah.
Surely Mourinho is going to add in a third, sacrifice a winger, go 2 up front, Son and whoever, whether it's Bergwijn, whether it's Lucas, whether it's Lamela, whether it's Vinicius, whoever, and add another midfielder to cope with that overload that we spoke about earlier with the 6 and the 2 fake 10s. And then what you have a situation is that a Winks comes into it, or someone like Sissoko comes into it. And not only do they need to defend the next 2 players we're going to talk about, but if we're speaking about a weakness for Ben Davies and Hudson-Odoi 1v1, potentially there's a moment where they need to double up. But we'll go with the 2 fake 10s first of all. I'll put my 2 names in the hat. I think Mason Mount's an obvious one. Yeah. He's been brilliant. Even since Tuchel's come in, he has been tremendous, as Trump says. Absolutely tremendous. Tremendous. I'm so glad, man. I'm in loving life. But yeah, literally, I think he's been great. Off the bench against Wolves, 8 minutes, proved his point. Got the start against Burnley, was great again. 4th player to reach 50 big chances created. I know he's taken a lot of set pieces, but we've had William, so let's just accept that those set pieces will be great. Let's enjoy the set pieces. I don't like it when fans try to belittle a player who's created chances through set pieces. That's good. That means he's good at the set pieces, right? I mean, we've just come from how many years for William taking corners? Yeah, we couldn't beat the first man if our lives depended on it. Now we're criticizing Mount because he's reached a high tally of chances created and there's set pieces involved. I don't care. Create your chances however you wish. I don't care if we score all of our goals from set pieces. Just get the goals. Just get the chances. So Mount would be one.
Ask the fan base if Mount creates 3 set piece chances and we score from all of them. Are you going to be unhappy because Mount did that, or are you going to celebrate?
Mount has stat padded again. God damn it! And this super chat ties into my 2 players very well. Tony says I would play Hudson-Odoi on the left to take advantage of the Spurs' weakness. So Spurs have 2 weaknesses for me. It's both their fullbacks, not just one, because like we said, Reguilon's not available. True. Davis is playing, and the right side we know is suspect. We didn't take advantage of it at the bridge. I was pissed off, but we move. Pulisic with Mount, for me, I would play Pulisic because he looked good when he played against Burnley. I think he's building up to form. There's a relationship between Tuchel and Pulisic as well. So I think if there's any time his form's going to improve, it's going to be now. And you talk about taking advantage of that left-hand side. Pulisic is capable ability-wise of doing that. So I'd play Mount and Pulisic as your fake 10s. You've got a bit of everything there. You've got, again, another dribbler who can go 1v1, and Pulisic at his best, decision making is great. He's able to spot a run, able to spot a pass, and Mount has just been brilliant. So it's not even really a competition for me. Younes, who would you play as your fake 10s?
You know what's funny? Yesterday I'd done my preview and I completely forgot about Pulisic. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know how. I realized after I was uploading the video, I was like, hang on, I didn't say Pulisic. I was looking at my lineup. I was like, oh shit.
Who did you go with?
I went with Ziyech and Mount.
Okay, fair enough.
And I went with Ziyech, and I got caught up with Ziyech because I knew that he's 100% fit again, and he got saved for this game specifically, and Thomas Tuchel said that. But I was also thinking, because of the limitations that Spurs have and the men that they have out, including Reguilon, if we were to stick Ziyech on the right-hand side of those 2 number 10s, fake number 10s, so Mount on the left of it and Ziyech on the right, I think Ziyech will act like that inside forward with his left foot. I think can be very technical and can exploit the gaps that Tottenham, I think, are going to open up. If you look at the way Tottenham have been defending, it's been atrocious. And I think Ziyech could take full advantage of that. But I was also having in my head just now, is Pulisic starting a good idea, or should we utilize him from him coming off the bench again like we did against Burnley? That's something that's in my head, because if it's not working with Ziyech, we can make that change again. But if Ziyech were to come off the bench, I think he'll have less impact than Pulisic does. That's just the way that I'm seeing it. But if we were to go with a Pulisic and a Mount, I still think that's effective. I still think that's really effective. So whichever way we go, I'm cool. But in my head, I think Ziyech's technicality could be something to exploit. I think his crosses as well, if he were to try and find that ball with a Marcos Alonso coming up at the far post, That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's just we'll see. But even
It's
so,
very-
even if Pulisic plays, even he can help out Alonso, as proven against Burnley. So I think we got options. This is great. We have options.
Yeah, it's a really it's a tight one because I think Ziyech, the point is big on Ziyech because we're coming up against a low block. I threw the needle pass potentially. He could find that ball. The one thing that splits it for me before we get Miz's view on it is that Mount's been so good in the right channel and the relationship that he's building with Hudson-Odoi. When he takes up the right-sided space, he's very good when he gets into the penalty box. You know, he seems to have, you know, he's got quite a bit of skill. And I've seen it so many times from Mount in that right channel when he's driving into the box or when he's doing link-up play over there. He looks so comfortable. You know,
That's true.
He's got good delivery, really good 1v1 in the box. He seems to always get past his man, flash it across the box, cross it. Did it so many times in so many games last season. Tottenham away, right channel, right forward, did a great job. And he's done it numerous times as well. So Ziyech, I wouldn't really want to see Ziyech on the left, but he could probably do it. That's really what splits it for me is Mount. But I mean, Miz, what would you go with, Miz?
Yeah, firstly, 1,000 strong in this stream. Please,
Oh yeah, baby.
that like button, get it to at least 700, or we are not talking. I want to see 700 first.
Fair enough.
This will be
Heard the
stopped.
man. No, you know
Get
what?
it to 700 within the next 10 seconds, guys. Hit that like button.
That's fair.
It's
That's fair.
free. Smash
I
that like button.
Man, them on certain, they've been mugging me off with likes recently. I said, hold on, all right, cool, Miz, do your thing. You know what I mean? Take charge.
1,000, guys, we are putting on a show for you guys because you love it. So smash that like button. Guys, so let's get back to the discussion. Matisse, completely hear you, what you said about Pulisic, and completely understand what Younes was saying. And I probably tend to go in that side. The thinking behind, for me, is you look at against Wolves, they were predominantly sitting deep, very deep, and Pulisic didn't start in that particular game because I think Tuchel expected that. Even against Burnley, Pulisic came on, I think at second half, some point when we were already 1-0 up. He knew that he could exploit some space behind because Burnley at 1-0 would want to come out and equalize, so you could exploit the space just behind Burnley, hence Pulisic goes in. I think Tuchel has understood Pulisic's strengths and weaknesses. Against Tottenham from the beginning. As great a player Pulisic is, if the defense is sitting deep, that's not a perfect scenario for Pulisic because that makes it too difficult for him. Do you know what I mean? And that's perfect for Ziyech because he likes to drop deep and he likes to ping passes and he likes to find those threaded passes. And that's perfect for someone like Ziyech to start off. And if that doesn't work as the game goes on, you can then bring a super sub in like Pulisic to come in. The issue is, if you start with Pulisic and it's not working and it's still 0-0, and then you want to bring someone like Ziyech, I feel like Tottenham, as the game, if the game continues to be 0-0 till about the 75th minute, till about the 80th minute, they'll fancy a winner because they probably want to reserve their energy and they want to just play for the last 10 minutes and try and see if they can do a snatch and grab. And that's probably not the greatest scenario for Ziyech. So that's my only thought. 100% Mason Mount starts. If Havertz is injured, I would have liked to have Havertz and Ziyech because Havertz with whoever is our striker would be very, very nice to have against a low block team. No disrespect to Mason Mount, he's a fantastic player, but I think someone like Havertz alongside Ziyech with those passing, it's the passing that's going to open this game up. Do you know what I mean? You can run around as much as you want. It's the passing that's going to do the trick here. So
the only thing I'd go against with Kai and Ziyech is that, well, Ziyech off the ball is good, but we speak about Ndombele and the threat that he is on the counter. I would want Mason Mount involved in that game just to help Jorginho and Kovac because I feel if he wasn't the mobilities aspect, I feel like there's a lot of players in there that they're great on the ball. Havertz, Ziyech, Kovac, Jorginho, but there's a lack of real outbursts in terms of pace. In terms of just getting back into position quickly. But yeah, I definitely hear you on that. Very good points on Ziyech. Very good points. And I think, Pulisic is better off the bench, 100% in terms of if you're comparing who's going to make more of an impact, probably him or Ziyech. It is going to be Pulisic off the bench. And Ziyech against a low block is always fun to watch. So I'm hoping Ziyech, he does try that cross. But if he does play, I'm hoping he does try and find those vertical balls either on the ground or clipped over the top as well. have a variety to your passing, because there is a variety there that we haven't really seen as much, but we did see it, I think, in a cup game. He put in Hudson-Odoi for a goal. I can't remember exactly who it was against. It might have been Luton or it was Morecambe. I'm not sure which game. They both just combined into one for me, memory-wise. But another thing
I want to say about Ziyech is, don't forget, he can shoot.
Yeah,
which we didn't see much, especially under Lampard. But we see how Mason Mount, especially against Burnley, was taking those shots, and all of them went into Rosette. But as long as he can keep it low, we know he can shoot. And if you have another man alongside him like Ziyech, who can shoot from distance if needed, if Tottenham are going to sit back and try and pack the box, and we have a Ziyech on the edge or by the D, and he gets the ball, he can have a dig, and he can stick it into the top corner. He's done it for Ajax. He hasn't really done it for us yet. I'm hoping he does, but if you give him that space, he can do it. So that's another thing.
And the thing about Ziyech, I don't know if you guys heard his quotes off the back of Wolves game. I think a couple of days ago, he was saying that he's really relishing the opportunity to play as one of those false 10. So more of an inside forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he does not want to be all the way to the wide.
To the wing.
That's not his game. He doesn't want to hug the touchline. He wants to stay in that half space. So it actually complements Callum Hudson-Odoi. So his combination with Callum Hudson-Odoi is perfect, because Callum wants to hug the touchline and Ziyech doesn't. So it actually allows Ziyech to either sometimes slip the ball in for Callum. Then Callum could possibly slip the ball in for Aspie if he's overloading. So if we're overloading the right side, or he could cut in and whip in those inverted crosses, either find Alonso very wide or whoever our striker is, or go for a shot himself. So I think it opens up his game completely in that sort of position.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see who's tasked with the responsibility of controlling these fake 10s, whether it's Winks, Sissoko, Højbjerg will definitely start, who for me has been the signing of the season. Just from a price perspective, business-wise, and then obviously just he's been brilliant the whole season, consistent. Diaz is obviously a shout as well, but he's a big money signing. You kind of expect it from him. Moving on to the striker. This is where I feel like there is there's no direction. I don't know who to go with. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to trust. I've got trust issues at the moment. I don't know who to. Do you know what? I'm just gonna not even stress myself out. Straight to the super chat first. Most teams in the Premier League will sit back against Chelsea with a low block. Do you guys think three at the back formation will be most useful for Tuchel? Well, we played two low block teams, Wolves and Burnley. Burnley game was a very complete performance, created a lot of chances, and I think we associate as Chelsea fans the three at the back formation with a very defensive formation because of the way Conte used it. And suffer ball and all these things. And this is my point. When you use Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, it's not right wing back, it's right wing. And when you have Alonso, who is desperate for goals and is literally almost simping for the goal, he is literally up there. He's ready. So he is also another person that is literally at the goal's mouth. So that's basically two wingers. You're basically playing a 3-2-5 at times. So it's not as defensive as we maybe are used to. Wendell, thank you so much for the super chat, bro. You're always here. 3-4-3, Pulisic, Giroud, Mount up top. Cho right wing back. I don't think Ziyech fits in Tuchel's system. I think it's too early to make those kind of conclusions, and I highly doubt Ziyech won't fit, just because I feel like Tuchel will find a way for him to fit. That would be my point. And again, this is now a week and a bit into Tuchel's reign, so it would be too early for us to be saying this player doesn't fit, because remember, 3-4-3 or whatever you want to call it is not Tuchel's only system. He used that at Dortmund sparingly with Pulisic at right wing back, but he also at PSG never used it, and he played a 4-3-3. So players that don't look like they fit in the system now will fit into a different formation later on when we change it up, when the going gets tough. So he's not changing it now. I don't think he is anyway, but we may change it in the future if need be, to suit opposition or to change form or whatever. I'm going to give... This is a hard question. So, Miz, I'll let you take it first. Who do you want up front?
Bro, so far, what did we go with? We went with the double sixes of Kovacic and Mount. Kovacic and Jorginho. And we've got with the 2 10s as Ziyech and Mount, or Mount or Pulisic. Yeah. Now that leaves us what? Just the one striker up front, I think? Or
one striker.
Boys, I'm going to have to go with Tammy Abraham.
Okay.
The reason being is Giroud. He forces you to cross the ball too much, and I feel like, I don't know. Like last season, it was so good to see Giroud, especially in that Spurs game when we played with Ross Barkley, Giroud, and Mason Mount, and he used to drop deep, link up with those players, and the 4-3-3 attacking eights, lone DM looked really, really good. Billy Gilmore was playing in that match, but this season, for some reason, I'm not seeing enough of Giroud coming deep, linking up, then sprinting up, and creating those space. It's more like Giroud, stay up there, and we're going to bomb in crosses, and God help us. Hopefully, you nail one and it's a goal. I don't like that because I feel like that's a low percentage game. So Tammy, on the other side, he's been very, very active. Do you know what I mean? Like he's dropping deep, he's running, he may not be always as clinical, but he's doing everything that's needed. And Timo Werner, to be honest, it's not the right profile of a match. A team's going to sit deep, and he's not going to find any space. He's going to be made to look even worse. The timeline and the fan base are going to be on the back of him again. His confidence is going to keep going lower and lower. So for me, Tammy Abraham, and I think it being a London derby as well, Tammy is probably going to carry that passion. And you need that added aggression and whatnot. Not to say that Giroud wouldn't. I think he would as well. But I think Tammy for me, man.
Do you know what? I like that answer because I don't mind who plays. This is the one position in the team I don't really mind because I feel like they're all consistently inconsistent, and you can make a case for any of them. But I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to say Giroud, and I'm going to use past performances against Tottenham as my reason. We played them earlier in the season. Low block. Jose Mourinho will probably go over low block again. Crosses were coming into the box from that right-hand side. That could probably happen again. We've explained that as probably our strength. If Ziyech is playing even more crosses, Hudson-Odoi crosses, Aspilicueta in that inside right channel crosses. Tammy Abraham doesn't get the headers. He doesn't read the trajectory. He doesn't even read the flight of the ball. He doesn't anticipate it. And Giroud is the best header of the ball out of all the strikers. It's a low block, so it's way more techie. There's less space to play in. For me, it's not going to be so much running the channels and all that kind of stuff because I think we're going to come up against a low block. It's going to be all about, tight spaces, taking your chances when they come into the box from those crosses. Who's the best at taking those near post, those near post finishes? Giroud. Who's the best at the heading ability? Giroud. Who's the best at dealing with any flight of the ball, whether it be a volley or anything in the box like that when it comes in from the wide areas? Giroud. So if we're to really take advantage of the wide space on the right-hand side, I feel like Giroud needs to be in the box because that's what we saw against Tottenham at home. When we brought him on too late and we couldn't capitalize. Then I look back to the game at Stamford Bridge the year before. Giroud scored. Great goal, left foot, smashed it into the ground, in as well. So he is starting to show his usefulness in big games. And Tammy, his record against the top teams is not good enough. He doesn't get the goals that we want him to get or the impact that we keep talking about that he should be making. He always makes it against the mid-table and the lower league teams. When it comes to playing against the top teams, this is a top team, he doesn't score the goals. I only really remember that goal at the Emirates from the Arsenal team as his goal contribution, and Liverpool, which was a tap in from Pulisic's mazy run where he got past like 3 players, and Tammy just tapped it in at the Anfield where we lost. So for me, Tammy doesn't do it in the big games, and when the level and the quality goes up, he doesn't perform. And Giroud, he has a record of delivering in the big games and in the big moments, and he's got the experience to do so. So that's why I would push maybe devil's advocate, like I said, but I'd make that case for him to start. Younes, are you going to throw a Werner in there and completely fuck things up?
You read me like the Bible.
I know.
Yes, I am.
It's those Leipzig connection.
It's those man, absolutely. No, you know what? Yeah, look, I fully agree with your analysis of Tammy, Matisse. I wouldn't be against Giroud starting. Absolutely wouldn't. Although I've just got this feeling, you might be like looking at me and saying, he's riding on vibes. I'm riding on vibes. Look, I think there's a good chance we'll get an early goal. I don't know why. I just think that Tottenham mentally, I don't think they're there. And with the players that's missing, I think we have what it takes to exploit them. I think we can get that early goal. If we get that early goal, Tottenham are going to come at us, or they're going to have to push forward. They can't just sit back and just do nothing. They're going to have to come. And that's where I think that unlocks Timo Werner. Against this Tottenham defense that seems to be all over the place, unless if Mourinho has performed a miracle and fixed them in the space of 3 days, which I don't think is the case, especially with a Reguilon missing and some of the players that are missing in that Tottenham team. I think that if you have speed, you have loads of movement, you will break them. And when I look at those 3 strikers we have, Tammy's performance just in our last game was, you could say, dodgy, and he got taken off.
Probably his worst performance of the season.
Probably his worst, but yeah, absolutely. And whilst everyone around him, I felt, was doing exactly what was needed, he just looked heavy-footed. He looked a bit lethargic. He looked slow in terms of his thinking. Like, he got the ball, was like, all right, what do I do? His runs were slightly late. Everything was just delayed. So I don't want that, especially in a big game against Tottenham. I don't want that. We need someone that's going to be fast and moving. Giroud, you can rely on in those tight spaces or when it gets really crowded and you don't have to move as much. But I don't want him to be isolated either. And this is where I'm a bit scared that, the style of football that suits him is to just, try and get a ball into him very tight and hope he creates something, or cross the ball into the box and get him to, header it in, because he'll more than likely beat any defender that's coming up against him. I think with Timo, everything he does except score, because that's where he's struggling, is good enough. He's not playing badly. He does what's needed. He's just not scoring. And I just feel tonight we could get a Timo Werner goal. I don't know.
He likes Spurs.
He's scored against Spurs before. Yeah, he's done it before. I think with Thomas Tuchel, maybe something could be unlocked. My gut's just telling me go with Timo for this one. And I'm hoping we get the early goal. We bring Tottenham a bit up. He can start running in behind those defenders and running into those spaces, because he will be fed. If that's going to be the case, that's going to suit him perfectly. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Werner just to mix it up.
Mad.
I can't believe we got 3 different answers here. This is where you get it all you can each other. It's unbelievable. 3 different answers. Wow.
I kind of felt it coming because even before I started this striker talk, I was like, this is going to be very interesting, because there's no real head and shoulders above the pecking order striker at the moment, and these strikers have to be careful, because this club is linked with Haaland. I don't know if they're going to be serious about getting him this summer, but what I do know is that Roman loves a new toy. He loves a new striker. He loves splashing on strikers. Shevchenko, Torres, you name them, we've bought them. And if none of these strikers state their case for leading the line, I think Haaland won't happen this summer, and I think it's more likely to happen next summer when the clause comes in, and that will give Werner his second season as well to really give him a fair shake. But if they don't state their case, bro,
Matisse, if Roman's watching this show, he's probably calling up his advisors to get Haaland, because he's probably thinking, if these boys can't decide who to start, I've got a problem. Get Haaland in, because they've got 3-way answers here.
And that really is not a good sign in a striker. That just really goes to show, the lack of consistency. Again, we saw the game against Burnley. It was the defenders who got the goals, and Tuchel was like, that just kind of explains where we are at the moment. So, it's not really any surprise what we're seeing there. I mean, I want to go down memory lane, because it's Tottenham, and you kind of have to do that. We had a great record against them last year. We did the double over them, home and away. I was at the away game. Holy crap, that was beautiful. One of the best games. I mean, that was my first ever away game, and I got to see William Ronaldinho do amazing things on the football. Amazing things that he would never do for Arsenal. Clearly, it's not even in his contract to do it. It's not even in his contract to even try that hard. And then we beat them at home as well. But this season, if we want to go on past fixtures and add that to the preview in terms of how we analyze this game, home 0-0, but I wouldn't say it was a poor result. Limited Son and Kane to no shots on target. And then I think the week after, Arsenal showed us how not to do it and had 2 goals and 2 assists for both players inside like 45 minutes or something. But then in the penalty shootout, we lost in the Carabao Cup run as well. Obviously, they're in the final. So what we've seen, really, what we can gather from both those games is that they're tight. And as confident as I am, I think this is going to be a very tight game. And I think, Tottenham fans are predicting 0-0. So they're not confident of a win. And mainly because Jose Mourinho hasn't really been going for wins, I guess, with the way that he sets up his team. And Chelsea fans are obviously very confident they're going for a win. But I think it's going to be very tight. What do you think, Younes, how this game going to go?
No, I'm just going to say, when Tottenham fans say they're predicting a 0-0 or a 1-1, deep down, they're predicting a loss. I'm just going to say that now. Because let's have it right. When we were dodgy and we were on here predicting draws, deep down, we didn't want to say, but deep down, we were like, oh, crap, we're going to lose this. But you can't come on camera and say, oh, we're going to lose. That's just,
it's true.
It's just not right.
And to be fair, I've never seen expressions not confident for a game. Like, it's probably happened, but I always think of him as like confident and ready, and same with Troops as well. Very, very aggressive from the get-go in the previews. But this week, Blues fans, I'm just gonna be quiet. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? If we win, I'm coming for you. If we don't, I told you so. You know what I mean? They're not like Tottenham fans. Same with Tobes. I speak to Tobes every week. Big Six Show, London Clubs Carnage. I did his preview on his channel. He's predicting a 0-0. He's not extremely confident. I spoke to Farad from Stoppage Time TV last night. Another Tottenham fan. I'm not gonna lie. I was going through Tottenham fans this week. I was like, I need to gather all the info, opposition analysis to the T. Because now when I watch this game, I'm gonna be ready. But yeah, man, literally when it comes to all the Tottenham fans I spoke to 3 in the last 24 hours, and they're not confident. They're not going into the game singing, waxing lyricals about their team. So yeah, man, you're spot on.
Are they all predicting draws?
I didn't get a prediction of all of them. Tobes went with a 0-0. Expressions, I think
1-1.
1-1. Yeah. I think he did. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people. And Farad, I didn't get a prediction off of him, but he didn't sound confident. And I thought, you know what? Do not tell me my pronunciation is horrible. I already know this, George. We speak about this every week. This is the same George. George, we're going over all ground. Going over all ground.
Allow it, Matisse.
Oh, god damn. Sorry, I don't have the Oxford Dictionary right beside me. You see what I'm saying? It gets sticky icky in the building, but you know what I mean, George. You've been here long enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know if you're a mod, George, but I need to make you a mod. If you're not a mod, I need to make you a mod. If you're in this chat right now, as there's over 1,000 of you, and you're regular, and by the way, I will know if you're regular because I do recognize the names. But DM me on Instagram at Matisse Armani. The link will be in the description as it is every time. If you're a regular, obviously you have to be subscribed. That goes without saying. DM me and I'll add you to the mod list because I'm not feeling the mod presence. I want it to be like an army. I want you to feel the presence of the mods in the chat. So there's no messing around because I did have to time out someone who was just doing Lampard in, but he was spamming it. I don't mind Lampard in. When you spam it, I'm just like, you're just annoying, bro. Do you know what I mean? We don't do spamming in here. Do you think CFC will get top 4 with Man City? Oh, okay. Very, very interesting question. Miz.
Man, this top 4 rate. Look,
it depends on tonight.
Yeah,
it does.
It depends on tonight.
As I said, I had Aiden right for the preview, and he said it perfectly. He said that this fixtures in the month of February will shape up whether we are actually in a top 4 race or not by the start of March, right? So if we don't win the matches against Spurs, we don't win the matches, whatever, like even the Atletico one, you know what I mean? Like forget Champions League. So these upcoming matches, we need to win. The Spurs, I think we've got Sheffield United after that.
Newcastle.
We need to win it.
We need to win this game. Like I'm not taking no prisoners. We need to win this game.
We do.
100%. We need to win this game, and then we need to win the following because we're still about 6 points away from Leicester, or
yeah, I think so.
6 from Leicester, I think, and yeah, same from Liverpool, I think. But if we win, we get closer now. So yeah.
So many may think, oh, maybe a draw is okay here. No, it's not. It really isn't because.
It's not.
You win these ones, playing catch up now because of the state where we were at the time of when Frank got sacked. We were so far behind. We are playing catch up now, so we got to win this. So What were the selections? Man United,
Leicester,
City and Liverpool.
City, Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, look, Leicester's probably the biggest bet that's going to come down. I don't know how Liverpool is actually going to get down from that top two. It could potentially be Man United as well. I know right now they're doing okay, but we still got a lot of games to play. I think you can pencil down City and Liverpool, even though Liverpool is not in that form at the moment, but you can pencil them down. Although I think
I don't know if you can anymore.
Yeah.
They're
Next
getting
up, I
very
think
squeaky bum time losing to Brighton at home.
Yeah, and next up, I think they've got City as well. So if they lose that too, it could be a surprise package there. So look, to answer the question, I think we're a good shot for making top four. I don't know who's going to get out. I don't really care. It's definitely not going to be City because City's winning the league. Besides that, anyone else.
This game against Tottenham is crucial for that, by the way.
I agree.
Because we're playing catch up already. We're level on points with them, but they have a game in hand. So and our record against the top six, with including and then add Leicester to that as well, including Leicester, is absolutely horrific. And if you are to make top four, we need to fix that record. And this second half of the season is all about righting the wrongs of that record in the first part of the season. This super chat from Felix says, "Does Alonso have the best free kicks on our team?" It's a tough one.
Yeah, one of the best. Definitely one of the best.
One of the best.
Would have to be.
I would say him, Mason Mount, Ziyech can definitely shoot. Even a Chilwell, if I'm not mistaken, can shoot.
Can he?
Yeah, I think
Chilwell.
I mean, he's not scored yet, but I'm sure. It looks like he can.
When has Chilwell taken a free kick before?
I think for Leicester, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think for Leicester he did, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever he was doing in Leicester, I don't even count. That's Leicester tax.
But Alonso for sure can definitely bang in a free kick. That's
mad. Well, listen, guys.
Sorry.
I'm gonna. What was you gonna say, Younes?
Well, predictions. We haven't given our predictions.
We have to do predictions, and then I'm gonna wrap up the show because you guys are getting real cheeky with it. You know what I mean? When we start getting to the hour and a half mark, suddenly the questions just come flying in. They're like, hold on a sec. They're gonna stop the show. They're gonna. Nope.
Keep them going.
Questions.
Keep them going.
Yeah,
Keep them going.
Listen, I'm on to you. I'm not gonna go too much further past the hour and a half mark. Mainly because I've got Rance's channel at 1, and I'm not gonna lie. I need to refresh myself because I don't know what energy I'm gonna get. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham's tonight, and I've obviously just gone for his brother in it. So I don't know what's gonna come. So I have to be prepared. Let's do predictions. Yeah. Miz, what is your score prediction for this game, bro?
Yeah, 2-1. I've been saying it. Either 1-0 or a 2-1. I think Spurs may have a goal at home. But for me, we should be good enough to get 2 against them. They've been leaking goals. So, if we sort of play the way Liverpool has shown exactly how to get at Tottenham, Brighton probably should have got a lot more than 1. So we've got goals. 2-1.
And Younes, what's your score prediction, bro?
4-0 Chelsea. No, I'm kidding.
Alonso 4?
Yeah, Alonso hat trick. I'm going to say 2-1 as well. I think 2-1. I think there's definitely a chance we could concede just for the fact that I think Tottenham are going to be more up for it than their past performances. I think they've got mistakes to fix. Like, surely they're not going to just fall apart really easily in a Tottenham versus Chelsea. So I think that they're going to come, especially at home, get a goal. Yeah. But I think I'm hoping we'll be too quick for them. And I think it'll be a narrow win. So I'm going to go 2-1.
I'm going to keep my score prediction at 2-0, which I've been saying all week. However, I would usually change it to 1-0, but I'm going to keep it at 2-0 just to keep the confidence. But I am feeling like it's going to be 1-0 as well. So that's my heart and then my head. If you want both of them, people. That game's tonight. So we've done. This is now maybe the fourth. Well, I will say third preview, but this is obviously the all-you-can-eat version, which is the belly full. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing left. There's no stone unturned.
Creme.
Yeah. When you're watching the game, don't complain that you didn't have the ammo going in. You have the ammo. You got the gunfire. You know everything now. Do you know what I mean? I've interviewed Tottenham fans. I brought it all over here. You know it all. And tonight for the review, I know how much you guys love Anita from the Burnley game with Dammy. That combination was just mad. So we got Dammy and Anita on together again. But we've also got Mel from Twitter. Everyone will know Mel. The big video that obviously that
Sabalos TV.
Brighton were involved. So we got Mel coming on.
All them man.
So all them man. You know what I mean? Celebos TV. Looking forward to chatting with her. I love a good rattle job. You know what I'm like on Twitter. If there's a video that's rattled people, I'm on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm on it. So she's gonna be on. So we've got 4 people on the panel tonight for the review. We ain't playing games. And then tomorrow we got Julien Laurens, the French journalist, who's actually going to be at the game.
Nice.
The ESPN journalist, French expert. So he's obviously going to be talking Tuchel when he's at PSG and give us insight on Tuchel there. But he's actually at the game tonight. So he's going to get the front row view as well. So we're going to get great insight on the game. And then on top of that, Cheeky Sport Joel's going to be joining us as well, who helped me set it up. And then Raphael Hoyenstein is next week, people. So get yourself ready for that. I'm not playing games because I really want, when it comes to Tuchel knowledge, I want everything, all the dirt. I want what he eats for breakfast, lunch, dinner, just like all the English journalists do. Do you know what I mean? I want to know, you know what I mean? I want to know everything. I'm not going to get in any more detail. I was going to get mad. And of course, to finalize, Younes, let them know where to find you.
Yeah, the usual. Obviously, it's right there, so you can see it. Younes Talks Football, or here on YouTube, and my Twitter at YounesHH. Same goes for my Instagram as well. So, watch along later as well, and match review straight after the game, as usual.
Boom. You know what I mean? That's a channel you're already subscribed to, but I had to do it. It's in the contract. And also the name's there, so you should be very obvious to you guys. And Miz, 3K subscribers, baby. Do you know what I mean?
Congrats.
Like I said, I love Miz. Miz has been seeing my rise from the beginning. So if I can push again, there's nearly 1,000 of you left. Just go to Miz and flop, people. I need this channel.
Everyone shift like there. Everyone shift.
Shout out, Miz. Tell them where to find you, bro.
Absolutely. Firstly, thank you heaps for 3K subscribers. Heaps of people like joining in on the lives as well. Different style of lives. This is what I like. You get different flavors from different channels. You know, Younes, you got a different flavor there. Matisse, a whole heap of entertainment. You got a different style from me. So yeah, it's for everyone to enjoy all the different content that's flying. The other side of the coin, right there, just over there. If you search that up, it will be there. Obviously, it'll be in the in the description as well. But before I go, guys, let's get that likes up. I mean, here's a challenge for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Not only it's an ambition for us, and we look forward to this particular show every week. Not in the beginning, it was more sort of us boys having a conversation. Now, honestly, we look forward to meeting you guys. We know you guys are going to come in. You guys send us the messages throughout the week, random taggings in different conversations. We end up seeing that you guys want us.
Love it.
So I just want to say, smash that like button, and it should be your goal as well, guys. Make this show the #1 show in Chelsea community that everyone talks about, because I think it has the potential to be there. And just imagine you being part of this whole journey from the get-go. It'll be a fantastic journey for all of us. So make this happen, guys.
Yeah, 100%. And again, guys, thank you so much. As we close for 9,000 subscribers, we're chasing that 10K. I remember putting out the announcing the channel on my private. If you have it's not private, it's not even locked, but it's my backup Twitter. It's my burner to spy on people on Twitter. And
I saw that. I thought, is that legit? Is that him?
Yeah,
and I was
legit.
like, yeah, it is him. Yeah, okay, cool.
It's an MAH fan account just to throw people off, but it is a legit account. It's just my burner. Just in case things went wrong on the main. And yeah, I remember putting the link to the channel on that page, and we was getting our first 100 subscribers. Like, come on, guys, let's get the first 100 before we even upload. Now we're at 9,000, chasing 10K. And honestly, I couldn't be more appreciative of it. I have always wanted to have a YouTube channel. It's third time trying. Like I said, I won't tell you about the old channels because it would be embarrassing. You wouldn't want to see that content. However,
if you want to know about the other channels, come and DM me. I know about all this.
No. But yeah, honestly, YouTube is a dream of mine. And like I said, this channel You know, when lockdown's over in UK, the outside videos, the roundabout, if you're an OG, will be back. So many things I plan on doing, football videos outside. You know, there's so much, man. So much I plan on doing with this channel that is going to just blow you guys' minds away. So thank you so much for the support. We're chasing that 10K. And like I said, Tottenham is tonight. That's why I'm hyped. I'm not drunk. I'm hyped. You should be hyped too. If you're not hyped for Tottenham, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you need to fix up. Get some coffee. Do you know what I mean? Get some coffee. You know what I mean? I don't advertise anything other than coffee, but I'm not going to take it. Coffee. People, lateness is greatness. It's been real. Younes, Miz in the building. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. And we'll see you tonight. And we'll see you every day. Lateness is greatness, people. In a bit.